Cool. Hey everyone, and welcome to Brad's Thoughts on Avengers Infinity War. Really quick, just a rundown of what I'm going to do. Just the general stuff. I'm going to try and avoid spoilers here. Second, with a bit of spoilers, I'm going to make the announcement of spoiler alert some point in the video, so pay attention. And then finally, friend thoughts, because I have some friends who saw the movie and have some thoughts, and I also have some stuff I want to address myself. So, with that said, let's talk about Avengers Infinity War. Okay, so first off, if you are interested in seeing this movie, Avengers is actually part of a series for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, they've had several Avengers movies before this, but there are also other movies for the individual heroes. Iron Man, Thor, not so much Incredible Hulk, I guess. But basically, it's just part of a series of movies. So, just for point of reference, it's good to have seen some of the other movies, so you know who these characters are and can get more invested into them. However, if you haven't seen Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, don't worry. I haven't seen any of the Thor movies, honestly, and I didn't feel lost because I've seen Thor because he's in the other Avengers movies. So, yay. But yeah. So what is the story here? Basically, there's a big purple bad guy known as Thanos who is looking for the 6 Infinity Stones. 6 stones created at the creation of the universe that have unlimited power within them for certain elements. Space, time, soul, reality. I don't know the last two. But Thanos is searching for these things because he wants to use these stones in a way that he sees fit. I'm not going to spoil that, but basically, it's debatable on if he's good or bad. Obviously, some people disagree with his ideas, and I totally do too, because they can relate to some bad characters in history. But, whatever. So, the big conflict here is Thanos. Okay, minor spoiler here. Thanos, in the beginning of the movie, already has 2 stones. So it's up to the Avengers and their allies to defeat Thanos before he collects all 6 stones. And, okay, kind of a minor spoiler here also. Starts a galaxy-wide half genocide. That's all I'm going to say on that. And yeah. And one of the interesting things is, it's not everybody working together, at one point to fight Thanos. It's several different stories, so it's very interesting, like, cinematically. Like, okay, we have, Team Captain, Team Iron Man, and, Team just a few other people. And they all have their own parts to play in this story, and sometimes the stories intersect and combine together, and it's interesting and awesome, and it's just an excellent movie. Like, we have all the returning actors. So if you liked Iron Man, he's still here. If you like Captain America, he's still here. If you like, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, they're all here. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, which I still have to see the movie, by the way. They are all here. So if you've liked any of the Marvel movies, if you like the Marvel movies so far, you're going to enjoy this movie. Definitely. If you haven't seen a Marvel movie yet, honestly, they're doing some great stuff. And because Marvel is owned by Disney, if you didn't know that, they have some excellent writers behind them, so this movie works out quite well. Again, just stressing that point. So, definitely 10 out of 10, would see the movie. I'm going to warn you, though, if you are attached to certain characters, you might be a little upset with what happens throughout the course of the movie. This is Infinity War. It's the war for the Infinity Stones, and wars are bad. And they leave a lot of destruction and bad stuff in their wake. So just keep that in mind. So with that out of the way, general stuff is done. We are moving down to the spoiler area. Spoiler alert. I'm doing that so I don't have to put in text and stuff because I'm using my phone. Okay, so spoilery stuff. One of the things I want to talk about is just like the setup that we have in the early part of the movie. If you're a fan of horror movies, there are, certain tropes that tip you off to, okay, this person's going to die, this person's going to die, and this person's going to die. And they do some fun, interesting stuff with, like, setting up, like, oh, hey, this person has blank reason, which, most of the time means, hey, they're going to live, they're going to be okay, but with the overall feeling of the movie, you're like, oh, crap, no, don't give them a good reason to live, because then they'll die, and it's going to be sad and terrible. And they do that with several characters. I'm not going to name names, but, because later on, whenever you see who does get axed off, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And again, I want to stress, if you haven't seen the movie, it's unpleasant because there are so many good people that just go. So, in the course of the story, Thanos fights against the Avengers. One of the coolest, like, introduction things is he squares off with the Hulk, and that fight is just, it's not like cinematically like, oh my god, there's a lot of explosions and this and that. It's just, that fight happens, and that tells you right off the bat how how terrible Thanos is. So after after the fight with the Hulk and dealing with Thor and Loki, hoo boy, Thanos sets his sights on the other Infinity Stones, which, if you saw Avengers Age of Ultron, you know where one of the stones is. And yeah, there's definitely some stuff with that. And hoo boy, is that a bit rough, unfortunately. We also know where some other Infinity Stones are, but not all of them. So there's some good story there. Like Time Stone, we know where that's at. Soul Stone. That's the thing that upsets me. I'm sorry, it just does, because it's terrible. And also we have some cool crossover with the Guardians of the Galaxy actually meeting up with the Avengers. And they have some good humor there. Like, there's some good character interaction, with the Guardians and just some of the different Avengers. Not going to spoil stuff, but just trust me. If you're looking for good comedy, it's there. If you're looking for sad feelings, they are there. Just wait for them. And try not to cry. It's very upsetting. And if you are crying, use the excuse of, I'm wearing contacts. I'm new to it, so, like, my eyes are watery. Because that works for, like, the first week. After that, though, it doesn't. But, oh my god, and just seeing what happens to some of the different characters and Avengers. It's rough. So I think I'm done with a bit of spoilers. So I didn't even spoil much, I don't think. But yeah, finally, friend thoughts. This is actually some heavy spoilery stuff. For real this time. So, spoiler version 2. Okay. First off, one of the things that my brother and I talked about was the issue with Star-Lord and what happens with him. Really quick, there are a lot of people who are angry at the character Star-Lord, and that's fine. I get that. I totally 100% agree with you. I want to take some time here and try and at least let you know why he did what he did. Or at least my perspective on it. Again, I'm not excusing him. I'm saying there's a reason why his character did that. Which ties into Pat's thoughts on the situation. Basically, spoiler. Gamora is taken by Thanos and is unfortunately killed. Because it is necessary to get the Soul Stone. Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis have hooked up with Tony, with Iron Man, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man to, confront Thanos, get the gauntlet from him, and just book it. The plan seems to be going quite well. And then Star-Lord comes face to face with him. And it comes up, Gamora was with him, and she didn't come back, so something obviously happened to her. And Star-Lord basically screws up the plan. And I'm not justifying again, I'm explaining why. I feel like Star-Lord did what he did because this was one person in like the entire freaking universe that he's built a serious bond with. You know, he lost his mother, he lost his father, he lost his father figure. Crap. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 spoilers. And so just being surrounded by so much loss and death, it's going to take its toll on you. I unfortunately know a bit about that. And I mean, to have it happen so soon, like it hurts. That I don't know as well, actually. Thank goodness. But, yeah. So my thoughts are that just emotionally broke him. Like, this woman that I love is gone forever because of you. And you're right in front of me. And, you know, Star-Lord had failed to, you know, keep his promise to her. You know, stop her from being kidnapped by any means, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so he does the wrong thing. And again, it's because he was emotionally broken. You know, it's not much. It doesn't justify it at all, but at least there was a reason for it. And Pat's thoughts on this were, honestly, this was kind of a bit of bad writing. Like, hey, let's make some more melodrama, you know, with the situation. Because as it stood, you know, a lot of people had Thanos kind of, you know, held back. The glove was starting to come off. Mantis was on top of his head using her powers to, like, make him fall asleep, be weak. But Peter attacked him. Like, Star-Lord attacked him. And that, you know, roused him, and that's how things went poorly. And, you know, Pat felt like that was bad writing. Like, hey, let's, you know, just make some melodrama. You know, we could have easily just gone with, oh no, he's resistant to Mantis's powers. You know, like, he's falling asleep, but, you know, Mantis just is exhausted trying to put him to sleep and just passes out. I would have accepted that. But you had to do that. And I felt like it was a bit forced also because somebody had to say, hey, Gamora was with him and now she's not. What's up with that? I know the person, at least I think I do. And I'm very mad at them for doing that at that freaking time. Because that's the other thing. There was not the time or place to talk about that. You don't talk about, oh, hey, what's going on, you know, in the middle of the battle. You focus on the fight, you moron. Okay, so there's that. And then the other big friend thought was my friend David, who, you know, pointed out when Thor comes down with Storm Reaver. You know, Thor made one very big mistake in the movie. At that point, you know, his shot hits the wrong spot. You know, my friend David said, you know, I feel like Thor would have been smart enough to go either for the brains, you know, or for the power itself. Again, if you get what I'm saying. But no, he was a little south of the brains because, I don't know, he missed. Though I feel like with that, you can give the justification of, you know, it's coming through the portal, you know, his aim was off. Fair enough. But yeah. So my friend David didn't appreciate that so much. And I can't think of any other, you know, thoughts or whatever to talk about. So I will just reiterate again, I really enjoyed Infinity War. It was a good movie. I can appreciate why people are mad at Star-Lord for doing what he did, because he messed up and it cost so many people their lives. Oh crap. Sorry. I just remembered one more thought. Going back to Pat. The Guardians, you know, have a couple of fights with Thanos in this. In one of the earlier ones, Thanos incapacitates a couple of the Guardians, you know, through some visually interesting means. But you know, it's not a permanent thing, basically. And you know, we're just like, okay, why is he, you know, stopping them but not killing them? Because as I've said before, that's kind of his plan, is to kill half the universe's population to save the universe. You know, there's logic to it. He's seen stuff like this, and I don't want to go into it because it's interesting backstory. But yeah, so like, we came up with like, oh hey, he's just dismissing them because they're essentially insects to him. Like seriously, it takes Iron Man like really cranking on him to at least get a cut on his face. So just saying. And also taking an axe to the chest. Spoiled that now. Yeah, so I don't know what to say. And then secondly, this is just a joke thing that how it should have ended. If you see this video, you can totally use this idea. But like I said, killing half the universe to save the universe. Okay, there's like, let's say 40 Marvel Universe heroes. There are billions of human beings. Out of this select group of 40 people, like 15 to 20 survive. Again, I'm just making up numbers. Astronomically, that's like winning the lottery to survive that. And to pick, like 15 of these 40 people. I feel like how it should have ended, you can just go with poof, everybody's gone, and that's it. And you're done. That would be a good joke. Of course, wait some time, because don't be a dick and spoil it, like a lot of people have been doing, and I'm very disappointed in you guys. I at least waited over a week to do it, so I'm slightly better, maybe, sort of. So, with that finally said, if you've been a fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, definitely go see Infinity War. You will not be disappointed. You will laugh, you will cry, but you won't be disappointed. So, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys lay off Star-Lord a bit after at least some explanation. If you want to go into it more, I can. Because I want to, because just some of the stuff I'm seeing, just the memes and crap, and people hassling the actor. Come on, guys. It's a character. Characters and actors are different. Like, I'm Brad, and I'm the character investigator, and I'm Doctor Who. Oops. But we're not all the same. Just saying. Well, okay, actually, for the most part, I'm the same as character investigator, but whatever. So anyway, with that said, go see Infinity War if you like the Marvel movies, or if you're a fan of good movies in general. Just saying. I don't know what else to say. So, as always, everyone, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and remember, every good movie has a great story. Great characters, great direction. They're just great. And they're good for a reason. So, yeah. So, peace.